Hello everyone, this is Saifullah bin Ali Pavel. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to connect Mininet OpenV switches to my OpenDaylight controller. You may not get enough resources how to do these things or any kind of videos in internet. In fact, I was struggling to find one, so I am making this video for future references. It may be a kind of long descriptive video for you, but I suggest you just keep patience and watch what happens. I think this will help you a bit. So I'm going to start everything from from the scratch. So what you have to do first, just download the Mininet virtual machine for the Mininet website. What I have already done here. This is not that much hard, so you can do it by yourself. Then I'm going to start my Mininet virtual machine, which is actually a Ubuntu machine. I would say Ubuntu machine that has the Mininet installed in it. So when I start it, it's booting up, and let's just wait for a bit. So here is the login prompt. So the username of Mininet is Mininet, and password is the same, that is Mininet. So here we got the shell. So I'm just clearing the screen. So if config -a, then you will see there is no actual IP addresses um, assigned for Ethernet. So what I have to do is just put this command sudo dc client, actually dh client ether 0 and for ether 1. So this two command actually assigns IP addresses to the corresponding Ethernet ports. So if I put this command again, so you can see we have two IP addresses. One is for Ethernet 0, 192.168.47.136, and another is 192.168.174.132. You may ask why we are using these two, the adapters for or Ethernet ports. Yeah, so I can show you from here. We have actually two network adapters. One is for NATing, so you can connect the internet through this port, and another is for host only. So with the host only, you can connect with the Ubuntu virtual machine, which is actually running the OpenDaylight controller. Once you have got the IP addresses, what you can do is open your PuTTY, and so you can see I have used 192.168.47.136, this IP address, and click open. So I can use this from here. So here you go, you got this one here, fine. And then I want to open another telnet session from PuTTY, but it should have X11 enabled because I'm going to use mini edit, which actually needs xming running in your local host, and then your PuTTY session Your PuTTY session should have X11 enabled, X forwarding enabled, I should say. So this has the X11 enabled, so I can open this one. So we have two telnet sessions. This one is X11 enabled, and this one is not. So we are almost all set to open the mini edit prompt. So as you can see, uh, this one is not X11 forwarding enabled, and this one does. So what I have to do is put this little command sudo mininet example miniedit.py. It's a nice little application, and here we have mini edit graphical interface. So mini edit is actually a very useful tool. You can actually make any kind of infrastructure, virtual infrastructure with mini edit. From the left hand pan you can see we have host, we have switches. This is actually open v switches. There's legacy switch, routers, netlinks, controller, everything. So you can just put this switch here, and if you want to connect this one, you can use this one. You can add host, connect the host with switches, and you can even add a controller here. So one thing you should keep in mind that this controller is actually POX controller. So the Mininet virtual machine comes with a POX controller within itself. So as we are actually using OpenDaylight controller, so we actually don't need this, but you can use this as well if you are actually doing some kind of research kind of things, or project stuffs. You can use this POX controller. You have Python programming on it in its core, as a its core programming language, so you can use this POX controller as well. But for my case, I'm not using POX controller. I'm using actually OpenDaylight controller in another VM, so I don't need this. So what I'm about to say that you can use this nice little graphical pan and make your own infrastructure layer here, and you can even save this from here as well. I have saved quite a little one. Let's say I'm going to open my project here. This is my own infrastructure. It has a host attached to the switches. And one more thing, if you are using OpenDaylight controller, then you should have OpenFlow 1.3 enabled, because OpenDaylight controller uses OpenFlow 1.3. But if you are using POX controller or NOx controller, which is kind of a primitive one, then you should use OpenFlow 1. And other than that, you should check the start CLI, and that's pretty much it here. And you can right click, I repeat, you can right click on the host, click properties, and provide IP addresses. Where is it? Okay, so you can right click on host and select the preferences. Sorry, select the preferences. Let's do it again. Select the properties, and then provide IP addresses here. And on the Open vSwitches, you have also um, an option of properties, but you don't have to provide anything here because you're actually using OpenDaylight. So I will use a manual command to connect with the OpenDaylight controller itself. But if you are using POX controller, you can give the IP address of the POX controller, and the DPCTL port number is 6633. I say it again, 6633. Okay, so I repeat, you can go to the option by right clicking and selecting properties. Okay, so this is actually cool. Now what I am going to do is open these virtual machines. This is Ubuntu ODL, OpenDaylight. I have already installed OpenDaylight in it. You can find my another lecture video which shows how to install OpenDaylight in your virtual machine. So it's booting up. Meanwhile, I'm just preparing everything. Yeah, that's fine. So here is the login window. So the desktop is ready. I have to put Control Alt and T to get the here to get the CLI. So from here I'm going to run the curve distribution with this command. Then the OpenDaylight controller with about to start from here. Okay, we have to just wait for a while. In the meanwhile, I am going to 192. This is the IP address of this OpenDaylight virtual machine. You can find it from opening another new terminal and ifconfig -a. So 174.134 and 47.136. So I'm putting 174.134 here. It can reach right now because the OpenDaylight controller haven't started yet. So here's the OpenDaylight controller prompt. So we can probably get the GUI right now. It will take some time. In the meanwhile, I am going to open an application which is the Postman. The Postman is actually an application of Google Chrome. So it's very useful to find out the flow tables and other stuffs. So you can just download it. It's very easy and convenient. So let's say whether it's getting the GUI or not. We have to wait for a while. We can even put this command get stat minus AN grape 6633. Sorry, netstat, I've put a wrong command here. Netstat. So probably the GUI is up. To enter the OpenDaylight Deluxe GUI, I have to use the username as admin and password is admin as well. So the GUI is up now. This is my OpenDaylight Deluxe, and you can see it's actually listening. The connection established. This connection is actually with my host, and the OpenDaylight is listening. So now we can go to this mini edit, and I'm going to run this infrastructure from the mini edit. So what I have to do is just go to run and put this one. So you can see that it has started running, because when you right click, it's actually showing terminal instead of options, or what, properties, I guess. Yeah, instead of properties. So it's actually running right now, but still you can see connection is not established with the hosts. So what I have to do is just put this command, not this one, this command, to my Mininet sessions. So what it actually does is sudo OVS vsctl set controller S7. This means the switch number, OpenV switch number 7, let's say this one, is connecting to 192.168.47137, which is actually the OpenDaylight controller itself, and to the port number 6633. So when you put this command, you can find out from the OpenDaylight the connection established with all the 7 OpenV switches. So what you have to do is finding out whether each and every switches is pingable or not. And here I am going to put ping all command. So you can see 0% dropped, and ping is successful. You can also find it from here, the OpenDaylight Deluxe. You can go to the nodes, or sorry, topology, reload it, and you can find your open flow switches and host in your Deluxe GUI as well. Even you can go to the terminal here. You can find out your own IP address. You can ping to the other from here as well. Let's say 10.0.0.1, and you can find that ping reply as well. So this is actually what we do to connect the OpenDaylight with the OpenV switches.